Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mrs. Evans from Math with Mrs. Evans, where I answer all of your math questions. Today, I want to show you how to tell the difference, or the similarities, between signed fractions. So let's get started. So today we're going to talk about what all these negatives and positives mean, right? And if I have two of them that are being divided by each other or multiplied, what does it mean? So today we're going to talk about the rules of negatives and positives when they're multiplied and divided together. So the question says, choose all fractions equivalent to each given fraction. But you have a question that it tells you your given fraction, you have to find all the ones that are equal to it. Okay, so to even really be able to do this question, you need to know what you're working with. So for A, I have negative 3 over 4. Okay, and over on the side, I've written everything you need to know down to be successful in this question. So if there is no sign on your fraction, so let's just say it's just 3/4, right? That is a positive fraction. Okay. But let's say there's only a negative. Doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom. That is going to be a negative fraction. Doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom. Makes no difference. The whole thing is going to be negative. Okay. If there's just a positive somewhere, there's none of these anywhere, but if there's just a positive somewhere, the whole thing is going to be positive. Okay. You probably won't ever see that, but just in case you do, it's there. Now, if I have one thing that's positive, okay, and the thing about positives is that if there is no sign, so like I said over here, if there is no sign, it's positive, okay? So if I have 3 on the top with no sign in front of it, but the bottom there's a negative, that is like saying a positive number divided by a negative number, and that's what I have here, a positive and negative. Now if it's the same thing, it's like negative 3 over positive 4, that's also the same thing. It doesn't matter what order it's in, as long as there's a positive and a negative, it is going to be negative. All right, so this all negative. Okay, and then erase. If I have a negative on the top and a negative on the bottom, it is a positive, because a negative and a negative multiplied or divided together makes a positive number. All right, now that I've quickly gone over those rules, if you ever just want to take notes, these are some good notes to take. This will save you in so many questions, more than just this one. This right here is a good note to keep. So I have this question right here. So I have negative 3 over 4. Well, I have a negative and a positive, right? So that I know I have a negative fraction. So I'm looking for negative fractions here. Now, guys, my thing is all off today. So let's say I have negative 3 over 4. If the negative is on the outside of the whole thing, that's a negative, right? So I know that's negative, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a negative, so I'm going to check that. And then here I have a 3 over 4, right? So that's a positive and a negative. That's a negative, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. But then I have negative 3 over negative 4. I'm going to check that again, right? That's over here. Negative times a negative, that's a positive. So I'm just going to keep on going. I'm not going to click on that. And then over here, 3 over 4, right? There's no sign, so I know that that is positive, and that's not what I want. So my answer for the top, for A, is negative 3 over 4 is the same as negative on the outside, 3 over 4, and 3 divided by negative 4. All of those are the same thing, okay? So I am now going to go look at my second question, B. So I have 2/9, right? There is no sign, so I know that this is positive. So I'm looking for positive answers, okay? So here I have negative 2 over 9. That's a negative and a negative. I have a negative and negative here. Let me erase this one over here, guys. So negative and negative is a positive. That is indeed what I want. So I'm going to go check that and say that's right. For this one, I have 2 over negative 9. That's a positive and negative. That gives me a negative answer. So I know that is not what I want, so I'm just going to keep going. Here, in the next one, I have negative 2 over positive 9. That is a negative and a positive. I don't want that because it ends up being negative, so I know I don't need to check that. And the last one is a negative on the outside with 2 over 9. So that whole thing is negative. So I only have one answer for the second one. So it is really important to know that this says all, it's italicized, all fractions equivalent to each given fraction. So make sure you're going and not just picking the first one you see. Go through all of them and go through this little checklist. And if you do all that, I highly doubt that you'll get any of these wrong. So if you guys would like to see another question like this, or would like to see another video explaining something I talked about in here, drop it in the comments below and I will make a video for you.